Hello everyone, welcome back to Cloud Parshala. This is the part 2 of last video where we were discussing about the VM migration from AWS to Azure. In part 1, I explained how we can perform the assessment and the dependency checks of the VM which we want to migrate from one platform to Azure. This is the part 2 of the same video where I'll show you the process of migration, how we can migrate our VM from AWS to Azure or from any platform. The process will be same. So this video you will see how we are creating our application appliance, how we are replicating and migrate the VM. So let's get started. So in our last video we have seen the assessment. Now we can see our one VM is ready for the migration. Now this video will start for the migration process. This is a second step. You can see first we have already done. Let's start with the second part. First we have to create the replication appliance which will replicate your VM. Select where your virtual machine is hosted, target region, and appliance type. So we have to go with the replication appliance, and here you can see the configuration of server, replication server configuration. So we'll go with the 8 CPU, 16 GB RAM and 600 GB memory. So this is the requirement. For this we have to create a replication server. Here we will create replication server. I'm giving a name is migrator server. I'm going with the Windows one. And here the important part is you can see it is asking for Windows Server 2016. So I'm going to use Windows 2016. And as we discussed, I'm taking, okay, let me take 16 CPU, 32 GB RAM, and rest configuration you can select security group, network and disk. Okay, let's wait for some time. Our VM will be ready in some time. Okay, after some time our VM is ready. I'm connecting with our server. Okay, this is our migrator server. Now we need to do the configuration. We will download the agent in this and we will configure it. I'm copying the link from here. First I'll just turn off the firewall. In control panel you can disable your firewall. And the second thing what I'll do is I'll just turn off the enhanced security. Okay, it's done. Let's refresh it, check it. Yeah, it's off. Now I'm downloading the agent. This is the URL. Here I'm directly running this agent. It will take some time in downloading and then it will automatically start running. Okay, it's about to download. Yeah, it's done. Here we are. Let's start the configuration part. We have to create a process server, accept third-party tools. Now here we have to use the registration key. From here we can download. we have to use the same registration key to register the agent. So here our key is, let's click on next. Now I'm connecting without proxy. If you are using proxy in your environment, then you can go with proxy. These are the prerequisites kind of things this server will check. Okay, we got one warning. It is saying static IP address. No problem. We'll configure static IP address. Let's check the IP details. Okay, these are our IP, subnet, gateway, and DNS. Okay, let's configure it. Right now, the server is taking the IPs automatically. So we'll configure a static IP and static DNS. Our IP is 172.31.3.83. Yeah, subnet 240, gateway 172.31.0.1. Our DNS is 172.31.0.2. Done. So I'm saving the configuration. It will disconnect for a while, but it will automatically reconnect it. Let's wait for some time. Okay, it's reconnected again automatically. Now I have to rerun the checks. Okay, this time all the prerequisites are passed. Here you have to define the password for your SQL. Done. No, I don't want to protect. Okay, this is the install location. Here we have to define the network interfaces. Click on next. Okay, next. So this installation will take some time. I'll just speed up the video. Okay, we are done. It took around 7 to 8 minutes. Okay, passphrase. Okay, let's copy the passphrase. Here I'm copying the passphrase. Here you have to add the account for your source server which you want to migrate to Azure. So here I'll give the username and password for the instance. Prod server we will migrate to Azure. Let's get the username and password for this. Okay, this is the password. Let's first copy the username and here password. Done. Click on OK. Now the second step is vault registration. Let's go to the vault registration. Again we have to use the same key which is on our desktop. Let's click on it, register it, and same option without proxy we have to register it. This process takes time, but I speed up the video. And okay, registration is also succeeded. One more step we need to perform. Here also we have to register, use the same key. Click next. Again speeding up the video. Yeah, it's done. Okay, we are done here. Let's check in our Azure. We should see our server, this registration server which we have just configured. Okay, let's go back to Azure portal. Here also we need to register the server which we have just created, our replication device. Okay, okay, this is also succeeded. Now the next step is, let's refresh it. We are not able to see any server here. Okay, now you can see it discovered one server. Now the next step is replicate. But before replicating server, we need to install a mobility agent in our source machine. And how we can do that, I'll show you. Okay, let's go to our instance which we have to migrate. This is our prod server which we want to migrate. Let's first copy the mobility agent. We will get the setup in migrator server itself. You can see the location. Let's go to the program data, ASR, home, system, just install repository, and here it is. This is, you can see, this is the package for Windows, as we are migrating our Windows VM. So let's install this. But I face so many challenges with this version, so right now I'll go with the older version. This version released on 13th December 2023, so there's a bit issue in this version. I'm going with the previous version. Later we can upgrade this. Okay, it's downloaded. Let's install it. Here it will install the mobility services. Okay, it takes some time. Yeah, it's done. Let's go next for the configuration part. Click on proceed to configuration. Here we have to give the IP of our configuration server, means replication appliance. On the right side you can see IP and the passphrase which we have copied. IP of appliance and the passphrase which we have copied earlier after the installation of replication appliance. So I'll use the same passphrase. Paste it and register the device. Okay, it is saying you must restart your system to changes take effect. Then let's restart our system to complete the registration. Okay, after some time you can try to replicate the VM. It will not show you the option of replicate immediately after installing the agent. You have to wait for 10 to 15 minutes, then only you can see the VM here. Now we are replicating this virtual machine. You have to select the resource group, virtual network and subnet where you want to replicate this VM. You cannot replicate in the same resource group. So I don't have any other resource group. I'll create a resource group in the central India. Same. And we have to create the network as well, where we want to migrate our source VM. Let's quickly create VNet and subnet part. So I'm creating a security group as well for our new VM, and we are done. Let's try to replicate now. This, okay, this is credential. No, okay, this is our VM. Let's configure or fill the target settings. Virtual network we have just created, and we are done. Let's go to the next part. In next part we have to define the compute, so it will automatically select the matching configuration. I'm not selecting anyone. Let's go next on disk part. It is going with standard STD. That's fine. Now we are all set. Let's start with the replicate part. It takes some time here. I'm just speeding up the video. Here you can see the deployment of resource is successful, but replication is still not get started. Here you can see under the replication, we are not able to see any VM because the process is in still progress. Let's speed up the video. Okay, it's done. Okay, let's check the status. All are successful. Great. Let's check the replication part now under Azure Migrate, server and database. Now you can see under replication, it is showing one VM. The replication status is 0% sync, so it will take time to sync or to replicate all the data. It depends on your size of the VM, and you can check. We got some error like replication health. Let's check the error. Replication is critical. Okay, mobility agent version. Okay, we used older version. Now it is recommending us to upgrade the mobility agent. No problem. We'll upgrade the agent. We already have the upgraded package. Let's connect with our VM. On the desktop, we copied the latest version. We can use the same one to upgrade the old version. Here it is. Let's click on it. Let's install it. I'm just speeding up the video. Yeah. Now you can check the version. Okay, Microsoft Azure Site Recovery. It is version 9.57. That's the latest one. Fine. So here it is showing agent version is 9.24. It will take some time to reflect here. Refresh it. After some time, it is showing. Yeah. Now the replication health is okay. So my VM is only of 30 GB and having data of 10 to 12 GB. So it will take around 30 to 40 minutes to replicate the data. Or we can say our VM will be ready for migration after 30 minutes. Okay, now the migration option is highlighted. We can replicate our VM. It took around 35 minutes. Okay, shut down, no. I'm going with this option. I have just started the migration. This process also takes time. Here we can monitor the progress. What is the progress for a migration? Okay, it took around 2 to 3 minutes. The migration is done. Let's check our server if it is there or we can access our server or not. We replicated in prod.rg. Okay, our VM is ready. Let's go to the configuration part. Only private address is there. If we want to access this machine, we need to assign a public IP to this. Let's go to the networking part. NIC, IP configuration. Here we can assign the public IP to our virtual machine. Click on save. Let's wait for some time. Yeah. Okay, public IP is assigned. Now next thing we have to assign the security group. We have already created. We just need to assign the security group. Now this we have to assign the pro RG group. Okay, I'll assign it. No problem. Go to the route table. We have to define the route table as well. So I haven't created any route table, so I'm creating right now. Okay, done. Let's go to the route table. This is a route table. There is no route defined, so we have to define some route. So I'm giving one route only. The route name I'm giving any. Destination is IP address 0000. It means I'm allowing all traffic to the internet. Let's go to the internet and press on add. So this means every outbound traffic is going outside using internet. Okay, this is our SG which we have assigned to our VM. So there is no RDP port assigned. If you want to access the VM, we have to assign the RDP port. Source I'm keeping it any, destination any. Okay, in service I have to select. Okay, let's go to the services, select RDP, and we are done. Now we have configured all the settings to access our VM. Let's try to access our VM now. Here we will use the same username password which we used in AWS. Here you can see this is our VM. We can verify the data as well, whatever we have kept on desktop and any folder as well. So we'll get all the things as it is. You can see on the desktop, here it is our package which we have kept on desktop. All the things are there as it is. Let's check in the folder as well. Here you can also verify all the folders. So this is how we can migrate our VMs from any platform to Azure using Azure Migrate services. Hope you will find this video helpful and you can learn the migration task and implement the same when required. See you in next video with some new challenging topic. Thank you guys.